Hello everyone, welcome to this demo, Securing Kubernetes from Cryptojacking Attacks. My name is Afan, I'm a Cloud Security Solutions Engineer at Equinox. In this demo, we'll see a cryptojacking attack and how you can defend against it using CubeArmor. So what's a cryptojacking attack? Cryptojacking refers to the unauthorized way of mining cryptocurrencies using someone else's resources. In a cryptojacking attack, an attacker plants a malware into someone else's system to leverage his resources for mining the cryptocurrencies. And what's the impact of cryptojacking? The whole process of mining cryptocurrency is very resource hungry in nature and it requires a lot of CPU and GPU resources. And the more resources you utilize, the more cloud bills you get. So expense is a concern here. And if you are using some on-premise data center, the whole process of mining cryptocurrencies can cause wear and tear to your physical servers. Here are some of the popular attack methods for cryptojacking. The first one is phishing, where an attacker delivers the malware through an email. The second one is exploiting existing vulnerabilities on the server, like log4shell. Log4shell allows you to run any arbitrary remote command onto a server. So you can install a crypto miner or any other malware using remote code execution. The third one is supply chain attacks, where you might be using a compromised npm library that is malicious in nature and mining for cryptocurrencies in the background. The fourth one is directly exploiting the cloud infrastructure, where an attacker exploits the cloud misconfigurations like excessive permissions for cloud resources to mine for cryptocurrencies. So moving on to the CubeArmor. What is CubeArmor? CubeArmor is a runtime security engine for Kubernetes and it's an open source CNCF sandbox project. CubeArmor basically provides runtime security for Kubernetes with observability. You can have observability throughout your cluster like file observability, process observability, and network observability. And CubeArmor also supports inline mitigation that we'll talk about in the later slides. Under the hood, it leverages eBPF and LSMs. So here is the architecture of CubeArmor. You can install CubeArmor on top of an existing Kubernetes cluster by using daemon sets. So you have CubeArmor running on each node, and it is leveraging eBPF for monitoring and LSM for enforcing security policies. And we also have a CLI tool to interact with the CubeArmor. You can use the CLI tool to get policy violation alerts into your CLI. CubeArmor has this amazing feature of inline remediation, where most of the security tools use eBPF for observability, and if they detect anything malicious, they'll try to kill the process or will try to stop the container, whereas CubeArmor uses LSMs, Linux security modules, to enforce some zero trust security policies. So you block everything and just provide a whitelist of what should be accessed inside your Kubernetes cluster. So that's how you can defend against the attack before they even happen using the inline mitigation. So moving on to the demo, here I have a Kubernetes cluster running and I have already installed CubeArmor into it. Here you can see all of the CubeArmor pods are running, and if you don't have CubeArmor installed, you can just head over to the CubeArmor GitHub, just scroll down, and here you should see getting started section, and if you open it up, here you can see all of the instructions that are required to install the CubeArmor. So moving to the demo, here we already have CubeArmor installed, and plus I also have an Nginx pod running. I will try to execute inside this pod. Now we'll clear the screen. Let's go to the home directory. Yeah, and now I'll install a crypto miner. For installing the crypto miner, I'll head over to the XM rig, click on the download button, select Linux, download and copy the link. And here we have downloaded the tar file. Now I'll extract it. we have a new directory. Let's cd into it. And here we have the xmrig miner and a config file. So what I'll do is I just want to show you the resource utilization of our pod. So I'll do kubectl top pods demo. Yeah, and here you can see that the resource utilization is very minimal. Now I'll start the crypto miner. I will give it a couple of seconds. So our crypto miner is running now. So I'll do kubectl top pods again. And here you can see the spike in the resource utilization. It is using way more resources than it was using earlier. So how do we defend against this kind of attacks? I'll stop the crypto miner as of now. And I have a CubeArmor policy in here. Let me open it up in a text editor. In this policy, you can see that we are blocking some actions. We are blocking executions from the temp directory. Most of the time, an attacker will download a binary to the temp directory and will execute it from there. And we are also blocking some popular miners in here like xmrig, Darrow. And we are also mining some of the reconnaissance tools like messscan and map and package managers. And we are also blocking ntpdate. ntpdate is important for crypto miners for time sync. And we are also blocking the overwriting of system binaries. So I'll just apply this policy. Yeah, so the policy is created. Now I'll do CubeArmor logs. And here you can see all of the CubeArmor logs and policy violation alerts. Now let's run the miner once again after applying the policy. Here you can see it's saying permission denied because of our policy. And here on the logs you can also see we are using BPF LSM to block this section on this specific pod. And here is the resource that was blocked, xmrig, and all the other details. So that's how you defend against cryptojacking attacks using CubeArmor. If I delete that policy, we should be able to run this miner again. So let's do that. Yeah, the policy is deleted. Now you can see that I can run my miner again. So that's it for the demo, folks. Thank you for your time, and if you have enjoyed the demo, give us a star at GitHub and connect on Slack to stay up to date